So today we're back on the house build. We're having a clear up. We've got Wayne is pressure washing off and taking the plastic off the plinth, so we can get all that cleaned up. Most of the scaffold is down now, so you can get a good feel of what the house is going to feel like. I'm clearing up the rubble from around the front of the house, that big pile of bricks that couldn't be reused. So we're taking that from the house, we're going to take it to the crusher, we're going to crush that, and then we can reuse that as stone to lay back down for under the patio areas. So got quite a bit going on this morning, but hopefully by the end of the day today it'll all look nice, clean, tidy around the place. And now we've got rid of the pile of building sand, which, to be honest, the wind was just blowing the sand everywhere. So by the time we pressure washed the roof off the following day, because it's windy at our place, there's little grains of sand all over the roof, and then as soon as it rains again it starts filling up the gutter. So glad to get rid of that, but just want to get it all tidied up now really, so we can start thinking and planning little bits of what we're doing outside, and then we can play with the weather, or play to the weather's advantages in terms of getting the outside finished up to whatever detail we've got going on the outside of the house. So we had a few issues last night. Cows did get out. Basically they were fenced up here on this little paddock where before the wet ground starts. So Mark had put an electric fence up, and then he come down to check probably about 8 o'clock last night. Anyway, I was doing some bits around the house, tidying up, and he rung me, and I just thought he was ringing for a chat because I was coming down to get the trailer. And all out of breath, jokingly I said, "Don't tell me the cows are out," and the cows were. So they've got from here, and somehow they've gone all the way through the field where you can see Mark is now with the mule, which between us there's a brook. So they've somehow got across the brook, up to the top of the field, they've gone through, all the way around the back of where the pig sheds are, and they were under the trees right in the corner over there. So we messed around and we had to get them all the way back over here last night, got them in, and we locked them in the corral. So I've just come to tip this trailer with the next bit of rubble for the crusher, noticed the corral gate was open and started to panic thinking they're out again. But by the looks of it, Mark has already been and fenced this up. So a big shout out to Mark for last night, because he must have run 3 miles chasing these cows around. I opted to take the mule, obviously we needed it wherever we went, so but Mark was on foot and did all the running, so I feel sorry for Mark. But luckily they're in here fenced up, so we can get back to what we're doing. I do feel tired this morning though, because like I said last night, me and Mark, and to be fair, Lisa and Jake as well, were chasing these cows round till probably about 10:15. So like I said earlier, we only put them in this little field here just to get them a bit more familiar with us. Unfortunately we hadn't really had the time to get them used to us, so they'll come to us for a bag of corn, or or rattling a bag of corn or anything like that. So that's why we had to chase them. But I reckon they're like homing cows, because we moved them from here where they pretty much nibbled all the grass off, put them in that paddock over there that Mark's fenced up, which was lovely, long, lush grass, all they could ever wish for. But they've decided to opt to leave pastures new, and they've worked their way all the way around through the field, through the ditch, through the brook, all the way around, trying to come home, trying to come back to here, to that field, I think. Luckily we caught them before they come through, because if they'd have come through and trashed all my buns and what garden I have got left at the minute and all my trees, I'd have been wounded. So it was a good job Mark checked on them last night, because I was going to, but never got round to it. So I think he's on fencing duty this morning. We'll try and catch up with him in a bit, see how he gets on. Okay, so Wayne's carrying on with that side. As always, got the easy job, I got the hard job. One thing that we're thinking about this now, originally, so you can now understand, now the scaffold's gone, you can see the back side of the ingle nook. So remember, the ingle nook is the inside fireplace that's sort of sunk into the wall. Well, this is what it looks like on the outside. Now, originally the top was planned to be a small slate roof. It almost looks too small to carry slate, but too big to be completely done in one lead flashing. So at the minute I'm sort of up in arms as what we do with that. We're going to have to sort of put some timbers on, rest them on, see what sort of angles we've got and what it looks like. We're going to put like a small corbel detail around the top anyway, which will make it a little bit wider, but only sort of 20 mil or so. So yeah, we've got to weigh up really where we put a big lead flash, which I think will look too heavy, or whether we go for slate or even a smaller slate so that it's scaled down and looks right size-wise. But ultimately we just cap that back off now. It has a lead flashing into the brickwork, so any water running down the face of the brickwork just runs over and off and onto whatever sort of roof we've got on it. Even if we put slate on it though, there'll be no gutter on it because that'll look daft. So it'll just disperse down onto obviously the floor around it. All the stone sills are on now. This one was quite complicated to fit because you've got the two cuts that you do back to the house, and you've got the middle piece that you do a cut on to sort of get the length of it all right, exactly where we wanted it. Now when it was designed, the plinth detail, the sills was sat on top of the plinth, which I thought would look a bit daft, so that's why we've had 2 extra course of brick. So effectively, in the bay window now, if you're inside, I think we've got about 900 roughly to the sill height. Some people want them lower or have them lower, but to me, whatever you've got on the inside, let's say for argument's sake, on the inside there was a sofa or something like that, you don't want to be looking at the back of that from the outside. So we've had the extra 2 courses put on, which I think is then going to set that off nicely and show that off a lot better than it would have been had it been sat on the corbel, on the plinth. And if it was on the plinth, it would have took your eye away from the plinth detail, which I want to show off because I think it looks good. But all of them are now in, so it's a case of just, I can get rid of this because I'm creating all the dust. So by the time I've got rid of this, hopefully Wayne will be worked his way around here. The other thing I want to say is Bobby and Lenny. They are very, very good. They're fantastic. They've come here, they took the job on, obviously after the problems we'd had in the beginning. And I will say, as the scaffolders come down, you notice more and more and more of the quality. And you know, one of the things I said in the beginning, it wasn't about speed, it wasn't about getting this done quick, rattling it off and getting on to the next job. This is my forever home. I wanted this to be absolutely pristine, clean. Quality was paramount, and I wanted it to look crisp everywhere you looked. So when it's all dusty, like I say, you can't necessarily tell, and the scaffolding's up, you get a feel. The feel was it was good. As we've took the scaffold down and now you can stand back, have a look, especially at the areas that have been washed, and we've got rid of all that dust, which is not just from the brickies, it is from all the groundworks that we've had going on out there and everything blowing all over the house. Now we're washing it down, you really are getting to see the quality of the brickwork. So a massive thank you to Bobby and Lenny and Robbie. And now they're finished here for the moment. If you do need them, it's Thomas Brickwork. We'll put a link on the end of the video so you can contact them if you want anything done. But obviously not to interfere in my work. But for the moment, they're free. In fact, about a week until we've got them on another job round at Western Way, so you've only got a week. But yeah, no, super impressed, super happy. We've got the expansion joints that we need to now mastic up. We've had it so that the downspouts go over the expansion joints to hide them because I think they look ugly. So we've got all the guttering's on, we just need to put the downspouts on. And then, like I say, we need to put the rest of these window covers in. Covering the bay in is going to be a bit of a nightmare to stop the wind blowing it through, but we've got to get that done so we can get that dried out, because the next job really inside is getting the floors done. So, and there's still quite a lot of water lying inside the house here. The other thing I'm glad that we've got these stone sills fitted now is now we can get the final measure done on the windows. So the reason they can't do it beforehand is we leave basically 2 bricks not mortared in properly. We set them in so we can carry on, or they could carry on bricking up. But we knock them 2 bricks out and then we obviously inset the stone sills, bed them up and get them all level, plumb and everything where they need to be. But ultimately what the window manufacturer won't do is they won't say, well, that's where we think it'll be, so that's where we'll take the measurement from. They actually want them set in, which I think is a good idea, because what you wouldn't want is a big silicone gap around the edge of your windows where they've allowed for tolerance, but we've put 5mm less mortar on the bed or something like that. So now all of them are in, we can get Wayne, as in Window Wayne, we can get Window Wayne back out and he can do his final measure, get everything ordered up, and then hopefully get them all fitted. The only thing I haven't yet decided on is the front and back door. I think the back door, because we're going to be using it constantly, we're going to go for a composite door. But the front door, I want a nice big oak door. And we've had the door made extra wide as well to fit my massive guns in. So I'll obviously use the front door all the time, but the back door, everyone else will use. But I don't know where to get the wooden door from, because it's quite wide. I can't remember what it is. It might be 1100mm wide. A normal door is a 900 aperture you leave. I think we've left 1100, so I've got to find someone who'll make me a bespoke oak door. So if you know anyone, please drop a comment in the box. But I think for house build wise, that's about it. Like I say, if I don't hurry up and get this stuff shifted, Wayne will be around and then he'll be whinging at me. So if you like what you've seen, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll catch you next time and leave you guys with a very short house build montage.
You like being told what to do.
Yellow, whether we did or shallow.